jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
Shout out to the hottest chat in the MF game, A-Side Official. You already know what it is, man. We back with another one. Salute to the ones who support. You know what I'm saying? If you're in the building, hit the like button. Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? WCS the first in the building. Yes, sir. It's always good to be on time. You know what I'm saying? For your own streamline. But let's talk about some boxer talk, current events. And then we're going to talk about some whiners. You know what I'm saying? Because the Spence fans are still whining. I mean, not just any Spence fans, but the ones who was spending all that freaking time criticizing. Let's get to the task at hand, though. We'll put them in the back. I wasn't totally up to date when I previously spoke on this fight card being canceled. Listen. I thought it was done, and so the other outlets put it out. It was done. But for Alexander Usyk, who's 21 victories in, 0 defeats, and 14 knockouts, 37 years of age, Ukraine fighter, southpaw, 6'3". He about 6'8" with them platform shoes on, 78-inch reach. His last fight was against Daniel Dubois, August 26, 2023, and he is the current reigning defending unified heavyweight world champion. He holds the WBO, the WBA, the IBF, and the IBO, as we currently know it. How did he get those belts? How did he win those belts? By defeating the former unified champion, Anthony Joshua. He was able to defeat him once, September 25th, 2021, and then they fought just inside of a year when he stepped back in to rematch him August 20th, 2022. Now, let me show you what it looks like on his box rec. All right? This is what it looks like on Alexander Usyk box rec. I know that's small. That's just a screenshot saying TBA, all right? But it's been confirmed via Boxing News 24. It's put it out there and stayed, pretty much stayed with it, that Hrgovic, and let me share this with you all, Hrgovic will indeed be the replacement, all right? And I'm not going to lie, that's good news. That's good news. Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou will be fighting a different date anyway. But let's go into this right quick. It says, Usyk, IBF mandatory, Hrgovic, 17-0, 14 knockouts, say he'll take the fight, saying this. Now the Fury has gotten injured. I'm ready to step in and fight Usyk. Let's go, Usyk. You owe me my mandatory shot. It's time to finally face me, said Philippe Hrgovic to Mike Coppinger on X. Volunteering to step in for the injured Tyson Fury to challenge IBF, WBA, and WBO heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk on February 17th in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I like that because he has been waiting for a shot. And unfortunately, undisputed trumps a lot of areas when it comes to what people believe they are do. You know what I'm saying? They just do. When they believe that, hey, it's my time now. What's going on? Why I'm not getting it? And this is a perfect example. So what better time to step up and take a risk? You're going in there to fight for the unified titles. If he's able to go in there and beat Usyk now, if he's able to maintain cardio and beat Usyk and be smart, that changes everything. That changes everything. Hrgovic becomes the freaking unified, and then he goes in there and faces Tyson Fury, and we don't know who wins that. I still think Tyson Fury potentially will beat Hrgovic, but it depends on how he look in there against Usyk. Usyk may go in there and dominate Hrgovic, It goes on to say, Hrgovic has earned his title shot against Usyk by defeating Zhali Zhang and Dempsey McKean. Now the question is if the fight can be negotiated and time to use him as an opponent. With the huge money the Saudis have, it shouldn't be an issue getting Hrgovic for the card as long as Usyk is on board with using him on short notice. That is something to think about. Usyk has to think about not so much like the lighter weight classes, cutting weight. No, heavyweights, they just have to go in there with the improvise, adapt, and overcome method when they take on somebody. That's anybody, but I'm just saying heavyweights don't have to cut weight. So they have to go in there with the improvise, adapt, and overcome and try to figure it out. And that's dangerous for Usyk and Hrgovic. Should Fury be stripped? He doesn't want. Hold on. He doesn't want to miss February 17th date, especially when there's no guarantee that Fury is going to be ready to go at any time in the future, said Chris Mannix. So right now, this is a different article, but as you see at the top, Hrgovic steps up, challenges Usyk to fill vacant February 17th date. Now, of course, they still working out details or what have you to see what's going on, to see if everything can be tied up real nice, and they can talk about that money issue. Let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if Usyk is ready to take on such a dangerous opponent at the last minute. You know what I'm saying? That's dangerous for Usyk. It's dangerous for Hrgovic, but it's dangerous for both fighters, man. Let's see if they tie everything up, or else the fight will fall apart. Right now, Usyk still has TBA on his box rec. Shout out to the OG on deck, Mr. Golden. Salute to you. You already know what it is, OG. How you feeling, man? So, just keep your eye peeled for that. You know what I'm saying? Just keep your eye peeled for that. Philippe Hrgovic potentially stepping in, up next for, the challenge to unified champion, Alexander Usyk, man. Shout out to him. Shout out to him. Now, a video has surfaced with Tyson Fury, who was supposed to be the opponent for February 17th, but due to some sparring footage that has now been leaked, I'm gonna be honest. It looks for a fighter of his level and experience, it doesn't even look right. You know what I'm saying? Like sparring like that and how sloppy it looked, and to get cut in the eye. Obviously, you see the guy come up with the left hand and hit him in the head, and Tyson Fury goes away, walks away towards the camera now, He's walking away towards the camera. I'm telling you, I can't make this up. Like they away from the camera, so you can't see anything except Tyson Fury holding the guy. He's holding Fury, and then he freaking swings and hit him up top with a little light left hand. He comes back, touching his head under, touching his face under headgear. He had headgear on now. He had headgear on. He's touching his face, walking towards the camera like he's cut. So go check out that video. That's on Boxing News 24. You know what I'm saying? And you'll see what I'm talking about. It says Fury was holding and hitting his much smaller opponent during the session at that point, the nameless opponent threw an elbow, catching Fury on his eye and causing a cut. Fury was then seen walking away, dabbing his injury. Let me see if this is the video. No, this is not the video. Let me go back up here and try to find this video, because I guess when you stay on the page, let me see. Okay. Let me share this right quick. Let me share this. The title is Fury's Mauling Tactics Backfire. So, let me show you how it looked. And you tell me what you see. All right? Let's go back. Fight Hub TV. Cite them. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Fight Hub TV. This is the video that they're using. All right. Did you see anything? That little elbow that was on the inside, why would he do that? That doesn't even look genuine. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna call bullshit on this. For real, I'm gonna call bullshit, man. I'm gonna call bullshit. I'm tired of this hocus pocus bullshit with boxing. I do. I'm calling bullshit on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm calling absolute bullshit on that right there. You know what I'm saying? Just so happened he threw an elbow on Tyson Fury when his back was to the camera. It ain't no other camera in there from that angle. And they're walking away, wrestling in the ring, and he throws a freaking elbow to the point we can't really get a visual on where it landed. Tyson Fury walks away, and with headgear on now, he has headgear, and the guy really didn't load up or anything. And he touches his eye and walks away. How is that guy still living? This is $1 million fight, and they're wrestling like that. And the Ukraine fighter, supposedly, a Ukraine fighter, and Tyson Fury is fighting a unified Ukraine fighter. They're wrestling in the ring, and this guy's gonna throw an elbow that was meant to land with $1 million fight, millions upon millions of dollars on the line. I'm calling bullshit on this. Real talk. I'm calling bullshit. I don't like, debunking or disputing, shit like this, because everybody come out with their own story, but it don't make any sense. Just give it time for people to really examine this video, and they're gonna ask if they're humans. Look, if they're humans with not just common sense, but they're logical thinkers. They try to troubleshoot shit. They try to dig a little deeper. Without bias. If they're human, they can figure that this is some nonsense, man. You have a multi-million-dollar fight on the line, and this fight is way smaller than Fury. They're wrestling and stuff. Why would you throw an elbow? Why? Why? Where's the rest of the sparring footage? That's what I want to see. Where's the rest of the sparring footage? Where is the rest of the sparring footage, man? But it's Tyson Fury we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? It's expected. It's Tyson Fury. You know, they got to go up here and put on a freaking charade, and a big ass fight is now off. But yet the only footage they have to show you is them tussling, and Tyson Fury's back is to the camera, and he get supposedly hit with a left elbow and dab his eye immediately. Now we're talking about headgear on, y'all. We're talking about this guy has to land the perfect elbow. The perfect elbow, y'all. In the clinch now. In the clinch. This guy has so much comfort in their sparring, the heavyweight champ of the world, that he wanted to throw an elbow on the inside with headgear on and land right over the same eye that Tyson Fury was cut when he fought Otto Wallin. God damn. This shit is crazy, man. This shit, man, this is just wild, man. For real, it's just wild, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's why, you know, I be taking these hiatuses away from doing lives on boxing and looking at BJJ and freaking MMA, you know, because, you know, and they ain't perfect over there, but, you know, it breaks the monotony a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Let me get to the chat. Outlaw Pugilist on deck. What's good? US and the UK are not surprised at all. This is normal for Tyson Fury. Okay. So you think it's real? Okay, you say you're not convinced. All right, right. I'm not convinced, man. You know, back to the camera. Of all the corners that the camera was rolling, you all are walking away from the camera. And he throws that short elbow on the inside. No follow through, no step back, no creating space. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to get really full velocity on it. This guy should go into MMA. If he can cut Tyson Fury, big ass, on the inside with the elbow, he should sign up for MMA tomorrow. And they should call him Elbow Mania. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Sensei Bo, elbow, you know, elbow sensei or something like that. He's cutting Tyson Fury like that with just one swing of the left with headgear on. No. I thought it was a left hook. Did you not see the video? The video, it looked like he hit him with the elbow. You know what I'm saying? At first, when you glance at it, it looks like a hook. But he did the same thing Tyson Fury did. That's why I'm calling bullshit on this. The same thing Tyson Fury did to Francis Ngannou, which is from Cameroon, not Ukraine. This fighter seemed to do it to Tyson Fury on the inside. He freestyled the elbow part, the person who originally reported it. It looks like it from the video. I'm not going off. Initially, I thought it was a hook. But I looked at the video, it seems like if it was a hook, it didn't even land flush. That's what it seemed to me. Let me look at this one more time. Okay. Man, you look at it's so many things that's going on there. Okay, so Texas, I'm gonna say that you right on the left hook, because I did see his head pop, but also I was focused on the elbow too. So I'm gonna say you right on the left hook. You know what I'm saying? Because looking at the video again, most of the time I was looking, it seemed like the elbow hit though. But you're talking about sparring gloves. Just think about that. You're talking about sparring gloves, and as big as Tyson is, his sparring partner was a little guy. For him to throw a hook like that, yeah, he popped Tyson Fury's head back, but goddamn, I mean, this dude should be heavyweight champion already. if he freaking cutting up Fury like that. But yeah, I hold you on that. You know what I'm saying? That left hook did land. Real talk. UK fans are pissed with Fury. I bet. I bet they are. And another thing to attach to that fight, supposedly, let me bring this up too. Let me bring this up before I even speak on it. Can y'all see that? Let me put it up. Y'all probably, yeah, y'all can see it. Look, they're also mad over there in the UK that Fury versus Usyk pay-per-view lands at $69.99, y'all. That's if. I mean, I wonder if they're gonna keep it the same price if Philippe Hrgovic step in. But Fury Usyk pay-per-view lands $69.99, y'all. Ooh wee. And €24.99 in UK. Do y'all think that's fair? Do you think a pay-per-view like that, $69.99, and that price tag over in the UK is fair for a fight? Let me take that down and show you two of the fights on the undercard. This is really going. Do you think $69.99 in the US, y'all, is fair for these two fights to be on the undercard? Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. I need to know. I know a lot of y'all watching the game. Y'all out there. Y'all enjoying your weekend. That's good, man. I hope y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Be safe out there, man. Have fun. But those are the two fights that's going to be on the undercard, supposedly. Nobody even commented. You know what I'm saying? They don't care, bro. They don't care, man. They don't care. They don't care, man. They really, really don't care. Let me get to Ryan Garcia. Okay? Let me get to Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia has been out in the media. I looked at entire podcast that he did with PBD podcast, I believe. And I was learning a little bit more about Ryan, how he thinks and all that. You know what I'm saying? He talks like he's grown up a little bit. He talks like he has control and a clear understanding of where he's trying to go with this boxing. The guy asked some really good questions, man, because the guy's like a millionaire. I forgot his name that was doing the podcast, but you know, he was asking him those serious questions about boxing to see if he, you know, what do you have planned? Are you taking boxing serious? What do you want from boxing, first of all? You know what I'm saying? And Ryan talks like he's taking boxing serious. He wants to be, you know, one of the greatest. He claims out of the four greatest fighters, his four greatest fighters, that he's number 4 or something like that. So obviously he has some delusion-itis going on right there if he believes he's in the top 5 of his greatest fighters. Even I would tell him, no, you don't have that right. You have the right for the freedom of speech. And you also have the right to be told when you're on some bullshit. So Ryan Garcia recently came out and said Devin will be destroyed and his daddy going to have to pick him up. They say the 25-year-old desperately needs to bounce back. Gervonta Davis at roughly the midway point of 2023 stripped him of his undefeated record, following the stoppage defeat. Garcia took out Oscar Duarte, okay? And they talk about Garcia being 24-1, 20 knockouts, all right? He initially called out Devin Haney before shifting his attention to both Rolando Romero and Isaac Cruz. Once those matchups couldn't be made, Garcia decided that a showdown with Haney makes more sense. Now, it's been said that Floyd, he was in communication with Floyd, and Floyd kind of, persuaded him to take the route or what have you that he's taking now, I believe, or vice versa. Kind of told him to, think. Nothing is set in stone yet, but that hasn't stopped Garcia from getting a head start on the trash talking and mind games. Ryan Garcia says Devin will be destroyed and his daddy's going to have to pick him up, Garcia told Fight Hype. I mean, that's a bold statement to make, man, because out of the two fighters, obviously Devin Haney is the better boxer all around, technically. You know what I'm saying? If there's any side, he's the A side, clearly. All right. He has the better resume, clearly. Okay. So with that said, you have Garcia, who stepped in for his biggest fight after ducking Gervonta Davis, and he gets stopped. Whereas Devin Haney is undefeated. He's 2 division and undisputed at 135. Garcia, you're going to have to catch up, and this trash talking is not going to get you there. So he's saying, Devin will be destroyed and his daddy going to have to pick him up. See? You're going to have to stand on that, bro. You know what I'm saying? It goes on to say Team Haney is excited about the possibility of getting their hands on a nice payday for a relatively easy night's work. From Devin's point of view, he's reached the elite level of the sport. It's hard to argue with him. I agree. In 2023, the former undisputed champ spent his year putting in serious work with a win over Vasily Lomachenko, and on one side beating dished out to Regis Prograis to follow up. Devin is on cloud 9 now. Garcia has become his number 1 target. It says Garcia respects the public display of affection. With that said, once he steps into the ring with Devin, he plans on testing their father-son relationship like no one else ever has. Garcia says, we're going to see if you really care about your son. So this is the my response to him, talking about Bill Haney. Bill Haney is the least of your worries because let's not go back. Y'all know how long that father-son tandem been. Ryan Garcia been around the game. He been in the amateurs. He know. So now to bring a father into it, first of all, you're not gonna talk more shit than Bill Haney. You can't dispute what he has done during the travels of raising his son to the point, enduring all the criticism that they took. You know what I'm saying? Going on these YTC streets through these battles and wars. You know what I'm saying? Being freaking, I don't know what to call it. Requested to go to the bathroom by B-Hop, a legend in the sport, but I don't know what that's about. I have no idea. But one thing I can say about, Bill, he's been around the block, back around the block again. Even the situation that happened with Australia, he was able to get that taken care of. I mean, hey, it goes without saying that you focus on the wrong person. You need to be focused on the person that you're going to see across the ring from you when the fighters are introduced there, Ryan. That's what you got to pay attention to, man. Leave everything else alone. You don't really need to worry about his dad picking him up. You know what I'm saying? Because the last time I checked now, people talk about Jorge Linares and what he did in the 10th. But they also remember what happened to you. You was knocked down multiple times against Tank. You was dropped against Luke Campbell. That's what they remember you. You've been on the canvas, bro. You've been on the canvas. So, of course, I know the betting odds is not going to come out in your favor. I'm not even thinking about that. But I really do hope this fight is made. Because you better go in there with something special, bro. First of all, you better go long and hard and put them search dogs out there for Tony Weeks. You better come out there with the motherfucking the Sheik, God. You know what I'm saying? You better come out there with some goddamn holograms It better look like Coachella up in that bitch. You better get some people together to talk. How are we gonna pull this off? Tony, I'm glad you was able to join us. I know you are fit for duty. What you did for goddamn Rolly, I appreciate you doing that. I appreciate you. Now I need for you to do it for me. This is what we're willing to pay you. They got to go get Tony Weeks first. And then they got to go find the judges. They get that taken care of, then Ryan Garcia might have a chance to earn victory. He might. But if he don't get a Tony Weeks, and then Kenny Bailey's retired already, you know what I'm saying? Lawrence Cole, that ain't gonna happen. I don't see it, man. You know, you better not get Steve Willis. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how Steve Willis look when you getting popped in the motherfucking face. His face expression say it all. So I don't want you to get discouraged when you getting goddamn beat up by 3,000 jabs, death by 3,000 jabs. You start looking at Steve Willis and he looking at you sideways, and his other eyes going over there looking into the. You know what I'm saying? You better make sure you do your planning there, Garcia. You better make sure you do what you're supposed to do. You're talking a lot, and you need to make sure you stand on that. For real. I want y'all to listen to something right quick, okay? Because I'm not going to be on here long. But I want y'all to listen. This is a Errol Spence casualty, okay? He was caught up in the hoopla. He was caught up in saying everything that Bud couldn't do. He was the ones that's always talking about people riding fighters heavy. You know what I'm saying? Using his terminology like he always do. D-riding and all that. But he was the biggest one, right? He settled there and always came up with this type of information that don't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Don't make any sense at all. And you ask yourself, like, why? You know, what's the point of all this? We supposed to support, you know, boxing. We should be able to support the fighter. But he was adamant and coming up with all this. I don't let y'all hear the audio over and over again. But I just had the laugh. You know, I just had a good long laugh, you know, listening to a part of it today. Because I love putting it out there that I listen. I don't listen to it like I used to because it's pointless. But to hear his sorrow, you know, the way his voice was in monotone, like he was going through puberty. You know, he was going through some freaking life changes hormonally. You know what I'm saying? Things wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? He was just up there. You know. But let me let you listen to it. Let me let you listen to it, though. It's hilarious, man. This is hilarious. Let me let you listen to it right quick, okay? It's not gonna be long. It's not gonna be long. But pay attention. Let me let you listen.
Just dragging Errol, dragging him, man. I posted something today on Twitter because I saw it was a picture of EJ and his beautiful babies. So you know, I posted a picture on.
Why do people bring people's kid into things? Like the kids don't have anything to do with it. What about Crawford's family? Did you ever say Crawford's beautiful family? No. Y'all sit up here and talk about as if this man, like, he's you. He's not you. You know what I'm saying? You was treating Crawford like he's you. No, that's not the case, brother. Don't bring up Errol's kids. The way you talk about people's family, you should be worried about how you treated Crawford as if he was you. He's not you, man. He didn't deserve that shit. But let's carry on.
Posted that picture on my Twitter, and I just wanted to tell him thank you. You know what I'm saying? Just thank you, man.
Just thank you, y'all. I'm the person that sit up here and said all those demeaning things about Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Those disrespectful, derogatory comments, all the vulgarity that was used. You know what I'm saying? To sit up here and attempt to prove to people that what you were saying made sense. Calling a man stupid, dumb. He's fighting at an elite level. You know what I'm saying? He's way up there. It's a quite different view from where you at. You know what I'm saying? On a leash, tied to a tree. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference between that. All that little chirping and little barking that you do from that little backyard, hey, no one's really listening. You think they listen? They just comment on it because it's humor. You know what I'm saying? It's comedic to hear you damn near shedding tears. You know what I'm saying? Just shedding tears. I just want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you. Man, shut your bitch ass up.
Seriously, man. Just thank you. Errol Spence, since 2017, they dragged your name. Since 2017, they
obviously this dude is delusional. This delirious, delusional, demented, dilapidated, degenerate. There's a lot of D words because he loves using the D words. But come on, let's be honest. Let's be honest about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Since 2017, we drug his name. But this dude right here couldn't stop him from getting behind the wheel. You know what I'm saying? If you was following him heavy, where's all the picks? Where's all the picks? You wasn't a true Errol Spence supporter back then. Y'all picked up on it when he picked up a title from Carlos Ocampo. Y'all wasn't messing with him when he was coming up through the ranks before his Kell Brook fight. You know what I'm saying? Y'all wasn't messing with him. You know what I'm saying? You probably started messing with him when he knocked out Carlos Ocampo and Jerry Jones jumped in the ring. And he defended his title. Jerry Jones jumped in the ring. Oh, man. Jerry Jones from Dallas up there supporting AJ. Oh, okay. You probably wasn't even living in Texas then, bro. You sound like you emotional. Out of all that, you talk. What do you need to visit the Ryan Garcia 12-step program? You know what I'm saying? You need some therapeutic counseling. What you going through right now? What you going through? What are you talking about? They drag you. Who dragged him? No, the one that was doing the dragging and the insults was you Errol Spence fans talking shit about Crawford.
They killed you, bro. They just pulled you through the mud, through the dirt, said you was ducking. What's up, Dirt Gang? Said you a coward, you a fraud, you this, you that. Just dragged you through the mud. You told everybody what you was doing. You're collecting all of these belts. And then once you get all these belts, then you're going to go get Terrence Crawford's. That's what you said. You did exactly what you said. Were you successful in your fight? No, you was not.
Let's stop it right there. That's the best thing you done said up to this point. Were you successful? No, you were not. Were you successful? No, you were not. Were you successful? No, you were not. See, one thing about the whole scheme of it is that why wasn't he successful? You content creators that's supposed to be, rocking with him heavy, you all couldn't get him to stop being out of pocket and get him in pocket. Come on, things could have been different if you kept him in pocket instead of out of pocket. But y'all was worthless. Y'all was worthless, dog. Y'all did nothing for that man. Nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. Y'all did nothing for that man. Nothing. Y'all didn't keep him on the straight and narrow. You couldn't give him advice. You all did absolutely nothing except clout chase Spence. That's it. Clout chasing. And then in order to show that you had some type of loyalty or you was a heavy supporter, faking it, pretending, you all talked about Bud. See, that's the difference between, Crawford supporters. We'll talk about Bud in reference to what Spence won't be able to do because Bud that much better. With y'all talk about Bud and y'all want to criticize him. Y'all not even really including Spence into the equation. I've said this before.
You was not successful in the last piece.
True.
But you still did what you said you was going to do. So instead of all these people making all these videos and articles and interviews, just dragging Errol and just down and disrespecting and degrading the man for years, not one of them apologized.
On this one, I'm gonna say you're stealing my shit. Anybody who follow me know that I always mention that they should apologize. This is probably the 10th that I've heard that stole my shit. This is my shit. I told the Spin supporters they need to apologize. Just like 1 cent, 2 cent, 3 cent, 4 cent. She stole my shit when I said they must like being abused and enjoy that dysfunctional relationship. Stole my shit. This is my shit he's talking about. They never apologize. Wasn't none of y'all talking about apologizing. I was. And y'all should apologize to Crawford because he went in there and did what he was supposed to. You talk about Spence collecting the belts, but talk about how how Crawford took the belts. Let's talk about that. You want us to apologize to Spence for what? You know what I'm saying? For what? You talking about how he collected them? Let's talk about how Crawford took them. He took them the right way, inside the square circle, legit, straight up and down like that, official. It's recorded in the box rec on his ledger. Errol Spence has 1 defeat at the hands of Crawford. And Crawford's sitting at a level 40 victories. And one of those names that's at the top of his freaking list is July 29th, the T-Mobile Massacre in Las Vegas.
This is why I don't really fuck with human beings like that.
He don't F with human beings, y'all. He don't F with human beings. Look, I don't know why human beings want to seem like they're a different type of species when clearly somebody who sits and basically brags about keeping 200 people in the building is human, because human can do some dumbass shit for real. They can be absolutely lost and don't know it. You know, he's trying to act like he's some Einstein, some black Einstein, saying that he don't fuck with humans. No. You are the one that the scientists need to try to find out, even if there's a neural link that can straighten you up. You know what I'm saying? First of all, you should be in there testing with the neural links. You of all people. If they can put a neural link in there and convince, you know what I'm saying, them to take you off restriction. Oh, he doesn't remember anything. Oh, this is a totally different person. He never did it with the neural link in there. He's not the same person. Look, the information and data that we put into this neural link, he won't even use any vulgarity at any point in time. No matter who pisses him off, he's not gonna basically use any vulgarity, no obscenities, no aspersions, no nothing. He's different. Oh, is that right? Wow. See me, I'll be petty. I raise my hand. Excuse me. Your Honor, I'm not disputing about the Neuralink and its proficiency levels, thoroughly tested by Amazon and everybody. I truly respect that. But see, I can determine if he's playing y'all or not. I can determine this. Do you mind if I approach the bench, Your Honor? Sure, come on. Go ahead. I will go up there and stand right there next to him, look at him, and say hi. Being that he don't fuck with humans and he's trying his best to be different, he'll say, hi. I say, I want you to do me a favor. Take your hat off. Excuse me? Take your hat off. Oh, why? What? Your Honor, that's what I'm saying. It's the same person. He's trying to play you, Your Honor. See, if the neural link would have been efficient and effective, when I asked him to take the hat off, He would have took it off. He wouldn't have no problem. But he understands what that would do the next time I go live. He understands that. Even though there's no cameras in here, somebody will send me the freaking picture. You know what I'm saying? So this is not any changed person. He is the same person because he won't do a live stream, Your Honor. If you order him to do a live stream with no cap on, he's going to violate the order and he's going to be locked up. And Neuralink is going to be freaking pointless. You know what I'm saying, Your Honor? And I apologize for sabotaging this charade. But yeah, that's all I wanted to do. Thank you.
Because most human beings are just about the drama. Most human beings are just about, what is going to get your rocks off in your mind with someone else's downfall and someone else's pain. And that's what most human beings are like that.
Listen, people, don't laugh too much, okay? You don't find yourself with a tearjerker that pulls a muscle in your back, especially to you cats, that's in your 40s and don't stretch a lot. Don't have a tearjerker now and freaking pull a rib. You know what I'm saying? Pull a muscle, hamstring, you know what I'm saying? Get a Charlie horse. Chill, bro. You know what I'm saying? Chill, because this is him speaking about himself, dog. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about himself. It's hilarious, man. I say hilarious all the time. It's just so funny, man.
It's very rare. If they're far and few in between where you have people who legitimately just want the best. That's the reason why I have so much issues with people legitimately just wanting fights. The best fights. Just the best fights.
So this guy's talking about just wanting the best, but yet Crawford proves he's the best, right? But yet prior to that, he said Crawford was dumb because he didn't have enough education on Crawford's full arsenal, his full overall skill set. He was saying that the man was illiterate, stupid. You know what I'm saying? He was basically saying that, yeah, Crawford, he's not really technically sound because when he gets into trouble, he starts to just let the dog out and he just want to make it into a street fight. Isn't that how this person acts? This is exactly how he acts. You know what I'm saying? When he don't have his way or somebody want to come over there and check him on his shit because he's not safe going on somebody else's shit. He don't have the freaking mute button. He don't have the freaking the access to damn put him in the background. He loses it. He loses it. He don't want to hear the truth about what people already know. You know what I'm saying? See, I must bring up what turned it around. Yes, I'm going to be petty on a Friday. I have seen that Keon for Everything Boxing finally learned that what I was telling him wasn't out of malice. I understand that you might want to say thank you there, Everything Boxing. I accept the thank you, man. You know what I'm saying? Even though I am, you know what I'm saying? I got you, bro. I know you want to. I tried to tell you, bro. He wasn't giving you the type of respect. Even us, we wasn't even chopping it up like that, but you obliterated him on the debate. Scorched him on the debate. I was on some real shit. Not the play one against the other. Keon scorched him on the debate. Being the person that don't like humans, he didn't want to give the man his credit, but yet that's supposed to be his boy. No, that ain't cool. You say nobody can debate you. 78 up there talking about, you know what? You the best debate on you. Man, what the fuck are you smoking, dog doo-doo? Come on, bro. I was being real. Oh man, he just felt some type of way about it. See, I can not communicate with people and not be cool and still give them credit for shit. It's called maturity, man. It's called maturity. But when that happened, Keon didn't accept it at first, but now he fully understands it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Weirdos. Sometimes it takes different people to really identify what a weirdo is and how much of a negative effect they can have on your life if you keep them too close, man. This is him. This is him. He claimed to be the best debater. Man, come on, dude. Look, this nigga really was Errol Spence in that debate. He got torched. For real. He got torched, man. Seriously. Seriously.
I don't care if somebody wins or somebody loses. I would want my favorite to win, but if they lose, so what? So it happens, man. Every single fight, there's a 50-50 chance of you winning and losing in every single fight. I don't care if it's the bummest of the bums or the best of the best. You still have that chance to get hit in the right hands. He is an amazing talent, amazing fighter. He is a beast in the ring.
Nobody said he wasn't a beast. But let's be clear. If you're deeming him a beast, then what is Crawford, a monster? Is a monster even considered a beast? Because it's not too many names that you can use that supersedes, you know what I'm saying, a monster. What is it? A freaking unidentified? What is it? I never heard somebody come out with a monster. Like, what's above a monster? You say he's a beast in the ring. Yeah, he was, man. He kept getting up. You know what I'm saying? He kept fighting back. I commend him for that. Much respect. Errol, I never thought he was a bitch or any of that shit. Tough ass dude, man. You know what I'm saying? But he was in there with the monster, man. And you, the primary one that is on record talking extremely vile about this dude. Extremely. But now, after the new year has passed, and you have settled into the sunrises and sunsets of 2024, it's soaking in now, nigga. Hey, y'all, it's soaking in now. You know why? Because when Errol pulled off that cataract shit, he didn't know what to say on it. Because he said, oh, shit, man. Errol's out. Damn, it broke him. It broke him, man. Bud did too much and he was supposed to. He did what he was supposed to do. And that's go in there and destroy. Close will seek out and destroy. And that's what he did. Man, the new year, it do changes people, huh? It do force change on them. Because goddamn Arrow's out of the picture now. And this weirdo may potentially see him step in there for the biggest fight, which him and all his freaking cronies feel like Bud don't deserve.
This is no knock on him. This is just the facts.
He always talking about what's not a knock on a fighter. For you saying it in such a critical way, it is a knock. It's an insult. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that may be where you wasn't attending class. You know, you might have been the one that was actually skipping English. You know what I'm saying? The comprehensive part. You're learning how to communicate because the shit you say don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? You would criticize somebody and then turn around and say, if I call you stupid, that doesn't mean you're stupid. It's just me calling you stupid. So what is the reason for you calling me stupid? Just because it's a word and I use it doesn't mean you, man, get the fuck out of here.
Errol Spence never needed Terrence Crawford. Never. Errol Spence already had a deal on the line for $65 million to fight Canelo Alvarez.
Oh my God. This guy said he already had a deal on the line. So please help me understand. Why didn't the first guy that was on the list fight Canelo Alvarez? Is the timelines adding up? Are the timelines adding up to y'all? He said he had a $65 million deal to get destroyed and freaking deceased by Canelo Alvarez. Right? They wanted this man to face Canelo Alvarez after the accident. Right? Would have ended his career. Bad. The first name that was on that list was Mal Charlo, right? It wasn't Mel, it was Mal. Right? Errol Spence, they was campaigning to fight Canelo Alvarez. But it was a pecking order. It was a pecking order. Spence wasn't at the top of that pecking order. All right? They got Charlo in there. And then, if by chance, you know, they get around to even making the deal happen, who knows? But I don't think we ever would have saw Errol Spence in there, especially him having Crawford. So let me ask you this. Which one is it, man? Which one is it? You say Errol's did everything he was supposed to do because they was shitting on him since 2017. He did everything he was supposed to do, but now you telling people he $65 million fight lined up with Canelo. So really, you telling the people that he didn't need Crawford means he was thinking elsewhere other than what his priorities was. You're trying to say he did all the heavy lifting, but in order for him to consummate the welterweight division as undisputed, he had to go fight Crawford. How else would he have picked up the belt? It makes 0 sense of what you're talking about. 0 sense. Because you're trying to brag that he had a $65 million deal, but yet you're trying to convince the people he did everything he was supposed to do with Errol Spence. For Terrence Crawford. As Errol Spence, he did everything. He collected the belts and went in there and fought Terrence Crawford. Everything he was supposed to do. But yet you're telling the people he didn't need Crawford. But you just said it was something, everything he said he was going to do. Why did Spence do it if he already had a $65 million deal? 65 is higher than what they each individually was paid on that fight. So how, get it together here. You're loose. Get it together. You're all over the place. If Errol Spence was doing accordingly, that means he would have focused on the welterweight division, especially after the accident. But you're basically reminding people that Errol Spence was calling out Canelo before he even fought Bud. That is absolutely facts. And this is simple shit. This is simple shit right here. Simple.
Already. He never one time needed Terrence Crawford for nothing. Never once. He wanted undisputed. He wanted it. And you guys downed this man.
So what's the difference between wanting undisputed and needing it? This is what I'm saying. Comprehension levels in the negative. Crash on the stock market. Yeah. Yeah. Mental stock market gone. In flames, inferno, arson, burned. What's the difference between a want and a need? If I have 3 belts and I have to fight this other gentleman that's in the same division, is it a want or is it a need if I have told everybody my declaration is to become undisputed? What is that considered? A want or a need? I need to pick up that belt in order to become undisputed because that is my declaration. That is what I've placed on the manifesto for my. Want would be more so, you never made the declaration to begin with. You want to fight him, but the way this guy's talking, he don't need to fight Crawford. Yes, every bit of Spence needed Crawford. You know why what you're saying is lunacy? And you just up here bored as shit? You up here watching the lint fall from the motherfucking front of the damn ring lights and shit? This is what's fucking you up. You keep saying that Spence didn't need. He didn't need. He didn't need. He pretty much would have been good. He didn't need. But once he needed to get that WBO belt and Crawford defeated him, what has that did to his career? Destroyed him. Destroyed not only his career, but the people that was in Texas rocking with him heavy prior to Terrence the Monster Bud Crawford destroying this man. You're not making any sense. You're telling people he didn't need Terrence Crawford. But when you make a declaration to complete something, and in boxing, we're in the 4-belt era, he had another belt to get to basically etch his name on the list of undisputed fighters in the 4-belt era. So he needed to fight Crawford. You're not making any sense, and I understand. I do.
Graded this man. You went at this man's wife. You went at this man's children. You went at this man's physical attributes. You slaughtered this man. which is the only reason why I win at Bud. It's the only reason why.
That's the only reason he's saying he win at Bud. And you know, I look, I choose to just chill and let him get all his venting out because I believe in human beings who are out here listening are smart enough to decode what I'm listening to. You're smart enough to decipher. You all are smart human beings. See, he don't F with human beings. I do. Because they have brains like he do. They have a brain like he do, right? And there's various parts of the brain. You know what I'm saying? There's two hemispheres to the brain. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of electricity that generates through the brain. Now some are low dim, dimly lit, and some are just sparking up all over the place. But when you hear this, I don't have to really make comments about somebody saying the only reason they went at a fighter in such a drastic manner is because he's pointing the finger, nana nana boo boo. Oh, I'm going to do the same thing you do. That makes no sense because everybody knows that the Crawford supporters wasn't going hard at Errol Spence like that. The Crawford supporters, the way I seen it, they was fucking with Bud. They knew Bud was the dude. They know he was the better fighter. They were supporting him. You all was fucking with Bud, and y'all wouldn't mention anything about Spence. Y'all barely mentioned anything about Spence until it led up to the fight, and they want to sit up here and talk about what Bud ain't doing. What Errol can do this to Bud's resume. He could do that to Bud's resume. He can beat everybody on Bud's resume. And then when it came to Bud, he ain't fought nobody. So y'all was busy talking about what he ain't did in his career. He ain't fought nobody. Who cares about his undisputed? You know what I'm saying? He ain't did shit. Man, come on. You can decipher this shit yourself.
Because if I didn't go with Bud, who was going to do it? Who was going to do it?
He said if he didn't go with Bud, who was going to do it? No comment.
Nobody was going to go with Bud. If I didn't go with Bud, nobody was going to do it. People were saying things to get along. Oh, listen, I look at that one. I don't do that. And since Dillian White, that's almost 2 years. As a matter of fact, maybe you guys are not hearing me. Maybe y'all are not hearing me. Mauricio Suleiman stopped. He killed Undisputed. He refused to allow Bermane Stavern to fight.
I'm done. The human beings that was paying attention, you know what it is. Let me remove the irrelevant. I don't care if he talks about it or not. That's Mr. Typer himself. He loves typing. He loves submission. You know what I'm saying? He loves anonymous submission. They claim to be hard, you know what I'm saying, and talk all that disrespectful stuff. But yet they up there typing. They know all about the home keys. Hey, if you got there and look at this freaking laptop, his home keys are worn out. And he don't need to look at the leather no more. You know what I'm saying? His fingers have that freaking automatic natural neural link freaking DNA in them motherfuckers from submitting paperwork. They know what the home keys are. A, S, D, F, G, H, J, K, L. A semicolon. Know all that shit. Let me get to the chat right quick. What's going on, Carlos, in the building? What's good with it? Salute to you, man. Salute to you. Shout out to Big Bunsen Boxing in the building. What's good with it? Shout out to News by Shaw News, Sauce Experience. Salute. Team Tucker official on deck. You already know. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention. Fire live earlier, man. Fire live earlier. You know what I'm saying? It keeps getting better and better, educating these cats on what's going on behind the freaking scenes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, these guys report channels. Yes. They do. You know what I'm saying? But that was nothing. That was nothing. That was easy. You know what I'm saying? That was easy. You know what I'm saying? These dudes be making up shit, man. Hey, dog. Hey, I don't know what the fuck he was talking about, dog. That shit was hilarious. The only reason he with it, Bud, is because, uh, you know, nobody else would do it, and Crawford supporters was talking so much shit about Spence. No, that's not even remotely close. That's not even remotely close. These dudes are the biggest internet boxing speculating non-information specialists when it comes to boxing, clown content. Man, it's just hilarious how he was like, they dragged you. What do you think they did to Crawford? Man, they went above and beyond to drag that man. Talked about the way he looked. Talk about his skin color, comparing him to Toby, comparing him to Kunta off a freaking Root series. Oh, absolutely disrespectful. Calling black people monkeys and adding the NIGG with the on the end of it. Yeah. And they up here trying to talk about beautiful kids. Man, please. The PBC never paid Canelo $65 million. Make it make sense. Yeah, man. Come on, bro. They was gonna pay Spence $65 million. Come on. Are you insanely delusional, bro? What's wrong with you? Let me help you out, Pablo. Shout out to Pablo on deck. Conquest 2 on deck, man. What's good? Let me help you out with that, okay? So you won't go on other channels and mention it. Leonard Ellerby was just in an interview, and this is shit I already knew, but he said Tank is gonna do what Tank wanna do. You know what I'm saying? Tank is not fighting Devin at this point in time. You know what I'm saying? So they made it perfectly clear, and I believe him. Tank is gonna do what he wanna do. Shakur, on the other hand, if he gets to offer the fight Tank, of course he is. Okay? If somebody can finagle Shakur into a position to try to force Tank into a mandatory, which I doubt it, because he's a champion, man. You know what I'm saying? He's a champion, so that's out the window. But anything can happen in boxing with what we're seeing now. Maybe Tony Weeks can make that happen. You know what I'm saying? But you can take that off the sentence. You can take that out the thought process, man. Leonard said, hey, Tank gonna do and fight who he wants to fight. For sure, man. That's what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Let them know. Keep the sauce hot. You know what I'm saying? Positive content, productive content. You know what I'm saying? On the business side of things. Shout out to Andrew. You know what I'm saying? Andrew's doing big things, man. I'm happy for Andrew. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, on a positive note, Shaw introduced me to Andrew. I'm talking about he's one of the not just team members, but he holds one of the prominent positions of Team Teofimo Lopez. Not only that, but Shaw News introduced me to Andrew and helped me, you know what I'm saying, with my visits. That's all I'm gonna disclose. I don't want to put too much out there because you don't deserve it. You know what I'm saying? But if you ever in NYC, and you see, Shaw News out there, ask him. You know what I'm saying? He's approachable. I mean, it's according to who you are. You know what I'm saying? He has been seen entering the press conference and other content creators attempting to follow the lead and was dispersed back out into the sidewalk because they wasn't a part of the team. I just had to disclose that, but I wanted to give a shout out, man. Yeah. Andrew, good dude, man. He helped me out. Seriously, he helped me out big time. You know what I'm saying? And the connect was because of Shaw News. You know what I'm saying? That's why I tell people way back in the day, man, dude is official. You know what I'm saying? I got much respect for him. You know what I'm saying? He was doing his thing back then with the media shit. But as far as connections, When I went over to NYC, that's the guy. That's true words right there. That's true words. So I don't know what to tell y'all. I mean, to be honest, I really don't care what y'all think. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can think what you want about him, because, you know, I remember back in the day, people was trying to get me saying, hey, man, leave him alone. You know, there's some shit going on or whatever, right? Listen, bro, you can't always be a follower. If somebody is some, you know, you meet somebody and you know them for who they are, then it should be entirely difficult for someone just to come up and say, hey, man, why you fucking with him? Oh, well, why you say that? I don't know, man, I don't like him. If they really don't know anything about the person, then you should be strong enough to tell yourself, like, them motherfuckers just being some haters or something. You know, it's hard to get everybody on YouTube to like you. But I can say back then, when he was doing his thing, and that's his backyard, as he started to grow and everything, man, he was a plug. He linked me up. You know what I'm saying? I have to give Andrew his flowers, man. Andrew looked out for me. He didn't have to, but he looked out for me, man. Andrew picked up the freaking phone too. You know what I'm saying? So Andrew, if you listen, man, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate what you did. You know, Shot News already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Y'all sit up here and on some different shit. And we're talking about people who actually can make things happen. Phone calls. You know what I'm saying? Can basically make things move. That's conducive to the boxer, conducive to the boxing fight week, all that. So yeah, man. Shout out to my guy Shot News doing this shit, man. I always tell them, you know, in the military, when you tell someone and give them a task once, or you provide them with something, when they can go out here and turn that little bit of information into a lot of information, those are the ones that we consider leaders, that doesn't have to be told over and over again how to do something. You know what I'm saying? They want to succeed on their own, and that's what he do. And that's why you see it popping off the way it is, man. The haters gonna be there. But when you don't worry about the haters and focus on growing, you're gonna continue to grow and blossom, and they're gonna see your shit from a distance. For real. They're gonna see your shit from a distance. Believe that. Tank himself said that if the money was right, he would go back to 140. I don't see what the problem is. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. And I understand how you don't see what the problem is. Because I think he even put out, like, he was on a podcast, or he put out something, said he might be moving to 140. But either way, listen, Tank has already been in 140. He's a 3-weight world champion. Whether people like that it was a Reggie belt or not. People try to say, oh, well, Tank received his WBA via email. Listen, he already was champion. The one thing that I know for sure, and I'll reiterate off what Tyson Fury just said. Tyson Fury said, I can take you to my place of my domicile, and I can show you 30 belts that haven't seen the light of day. 30 belts. He said, I can take you to all these belts that haven't seen the light of the day in years. But they want to get on Tank for making pay-per-view money and don't worry about the belts. I mean, come on, man. You gotta understand what Ryan Garcia is attempting to do. He's trying to ride the wave. You know what I'm saying? It benefits certain people. Belts matter, yes. Can you have the star power like the Canelo Alvarez? Wherever you go, you get paid, no matter who you fighting. That's tough. Canelo's a different breed, man. Cinnamon is a different breed. His fight with Floyd Mayweather didn't stop him one bit. It didn't pause one bit. What Tank is trying to do, I don't know, because he move and he basically make decisions on how he want to make it. He got the pay-per-view numbers, man. People always trying to dispute what he's done on pay-per-view, but they watch the pay-per-view. They probably never watched it in person and felt the crowd and looked at the crowd and see how they was moving when Tank was throwing punches and how he was exciting and entertaining. They never really saw Tank do a backflip off the top rope in person. I got the photo. You know what I'm saying? I got the photo. I mean, hey, it is what it is. You know, Shaw News, you know what the frontliners are, man. Not everybody's a frontliner, man. So they expect fighters to do certain things, but if you know fighters, you can understand how they move. You know what I'm saying? You can understand that shit, bro. But whether he go to 140 again, we'll see. That's all. We'll see if he goes to 140 and who he's going to fight at 140. You know, just because, you know, he don't fight specifically who they want him to fight, they're going to have to take that up with his whoever's he's dealing with. You know how difficult that's going to be. You know what I'm saying? Tank make moves and making millions of dollars, and people worry about titles that's worthless, man. When you go into retirement, you can't take them to the pawn shop and say, I'm Tank. So I don't know who you are. I'm Tank, man. I got a whole goddamn wagon of belts. I want goddamn 60 million for it, because when I fought in my career, you know, at one point in time I did make 60 million. I want 60 million for all these. Well, sir, I'm gonna be honest with you. That was never the going price when they were straight out the package. Okay. So right now, it seems like they have a lot of dust on them. A lot of dust. And they're not of any value to us to cash them in. No one really knows about boxing like that across this city here. God damn it, what you mean? I'll punch you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people gonna continue the whine and bitch and moan about, you know, him making money, but belts, dog. You gotta make the money. You gotta make the belts and the money complement each other. Man, you gotta make the belts and the money complement. If you ain't holding on to a whole lot of straps, you gotta be considered a genius if you're still making millions. Just think about it like this. How much sanctioning fees? You know how Errol was up there on stage crying like that dude you just listened to about the 3%? And I'm not saying it's something that's wrong for him to do that, but just think about the ones who's not even really giving a damn about keeping the belt. You know what I'm saying? They're not holding a lot of belts to pay the 3% sanctioning fee. That's smart. That's extra money in their pocket, bro. But yet he's up here doing pay-per-views, making millions with Ryan Garcia. Millions. And what his sanctioning fees? What does his sanction fees cost now? One belt? Come on, bro. Come on, dog. Hey, shout out to I think it's spelled Anaya. I'm not sure who that is, but shout out to Naya for the $1 cash app super chat deposit. I appreciate you. Shout out to Liza for the $2 cash app. I appreciate you. One love to y'all for donating to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate it. Thanks. Yeah, man, that's where I'm at with it. You know how boxing is, bro. Last, I'm gonna touch on this. This is a current event, okay? I'm definitely gonna start talking on current events more because I feel it's very needed. Okay, this story right here is making its rounds, right? As you see, it's a 13-year-old kid who happened to be black, who suffers from mental illness and ADHD. Now, the heading says parents incapable of managing ill child gives up and call law enforcement. All right. This happened to be a black family. Okay. This is my start to this, right? When I was growing up, I really didn't know what ADHD was. You know, I used to know the kids that was in the special classes from seeing them in the hallway lined up the way they were, holding each other's wrists or hand or whatever. And that's how they had to go. And the teachers was always going back and forth like they was, you know, enforcements, to make sure these kids. And I thinking, I didn't really learn about the shit like that, like how it affected human beings, right? Some of these freaking content creators, I know they got it. But anyway, this kid has it bad because he's quiet, but he's physically active. He won't be saying too much, but he'll kick the wall, he'll kick the person, he'll bite. You know what I'm saying? Probably swing, try to fight you. That's a dangerous child because you have to continue to keep an eye on him. That's dangerous. That's a dangerous child right there. So if you go on World Star, you can see this. If you go on Yahoo, all these places, you can see the entire video where the law enforcement officers are basically handling him like he's a young child. I know people try to get up here and try to make it about race. That wasn't about race. You know what I'm saying? The officer who's freaking handling him, that's in the back, he's communicating with the parents as to why he put handcuffs on a 13-year-old child. And the reason he was doing that because the kid was very active with his physical, strikes, kicking, and stuff like that. And also he believed that the child may potentially try to grab a taser or a gun. People will look at this and say, nah, that's overreacting. It wasn't. I can't imagine, y'all. From the heart, I couldn't imagine how much stress it would be dealing with a child that has a illness, a mental illness, very bad mental illness where they don't say too much, but they act out all the time. I used to see certain families with these kids, man, and they went to special schools. But yet every now and then you would see these kids walking in the stores or the PX or whatever. And, luckily for them, they had a child who was okay. And that child was had the responsibilities of making sure they look after their brother or sister that had these, outbursts, Tourette's and stuff like that. And I'm telling you, man, it was tough. Looking back on that, I wasn't educated enough on it. I just didn't see it growing up where I was at. I didn't see it, man. I didn't really see it until I got to high school, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't decipher retardation from ADHD. I couldn't. Like I say, I see kids with Down syndrome. I couldn't decipher. I just coupled them all with attention deficit disorder. You know what I'm saying? What is that about? What does that mean exactly? And then kids being on medication and seeing kids who act a certain way. Look, I literally seen these two brothers, right? They obviously had some stuff going on with them, and they was bad. Oh man, they was bad. And I think it was like 7 years had passed by from the time I seen them at one of the duty stations. And I seen this couple again. I'm surprised they even stayed together because I remember seeing the mother down in the lobby. She was down in the lobby where we stayed at on base, and she was just standing on the wall. And back then we weren't really rocking with the social media, shit like that. She was just standing there just getting a breather. And if I didn't know her situation, I would have been like, you okay? You okay? You all right? But she was just taking a breather from the kids. 7 years had passed. And them kids, you couldn't even tell them was the same kids, man. Them boys was different. I was like, look, that is the only case that I've been able to witness two kids to actually have some mental illness going on and somehow they have it under control. I mean, I'm talking about 100% different. 100% different. But back to this kid. This kid was seriously acting out, and it permitted, or it presented rather, a very dangerous situation. Now, what I didn't like was the parents seemed like they was just giving up on the kid. Like, you giving up on a kid that may potentially change once they get him on the right medication and stuff like that as he grows up. Because the way this kid is acting right now, it just seems like there's no way that he's going to be able to exist in public. He goes to, they say he had a bed ready, but the bed won't be ready till tomorrow. I'm talking about in a facility. That's what it means, right? So I'm curious to be like, okay, who is going to be sensitive to this kid like these officers were? Because they was asking all the questions, they was communicating. But when, certain people see things like this, they act like, oh man, that was too much. That was unnecessary. No, it was absolutely necessary. It was absolutely necessary. And the kid really wasn't saying anything. So that's even more of a danger when you don't even know when this kid's going to act out. And before you know it, he kicked the officer. He didn't say anything. He didn't give no freaking grunt, anything. All of a sudden, he just kicked him. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine if he was a little bit older. Just imagine if this type of kid got the mental illness. He was like 17 and he's out there walking and he gets into it with somebody and officers come over there without knowing his backstory. Oh, it could have been lethal. But in this case, they was communicating the whole time. The parents seem like they're giving up on their kid. They say, we didn't want to do it, but we don't know what else to do. And then people was in the comments talking about the bed that he was on. It looked like he was living in other than honorable conditions. That's beside the point. But to deal with a kid like this and to keep steady attention on it, I don't know, man. I mean, it did sound bad, for the parents just to say, take him. Like, get him out of our sight. We won't rest. We won't rest, man. You know what I'm saying? We won't rest. And that's why, I thank God. Because I look at it like this, right? I don't try to touch people's kids at all with verbal insults or try to go in on people's kid. You know what I'm saying? You can touch someone. You can be vicious towards somebody with the tongue alone. I say all the time, the tongue is the sword to life or death. You can touch them with words or physically. You know what I'm saying? You can be physically demanding, damaging, violent with both physical and verbally. When you get a kid like this, that's not even verbal, but he's physical, I guarantee you, if they didn't get the phone call and this kid was out here wandering around, walking the block, he may have lost his life, because whoever he runs into may look at this kid and say, dude, what's your problem? He just standing there staring at him, not saying nothing. They don't know anything about him, and then he go in there and try to, commit an act of violence. They're not asking questions, man. They're going to treat that kid like he's normal, and they don't know anything about his backstory. It's kind of a sad story hearing the parents just say, take him. Up at so-and-so, they got a bed for him. I mean, once he get there, they ain't going to play around with him. They ain't going to play around with him. Them cats that's in the asylum, they operate off whole different rules. They'll strap him down. They'll give him medication. You know what I'm saying? Get him under until they figure out what he needs to be taken. It's a sad situation, man. The mother up there trying to act like she was crying and stuff. And I know she probably stressed the fuck out dealing with that kid. Him putting hands on her and stuff like that. Man, hell yeah. I can't sit up here and be selfish and say she should have tried to the very, very end. She should have put at least 2 or 3 more years till he got old. He only 13. Man, hell no. Hey, man, thank you, Holy Jesus, for giving me my boys. I thank you. Giving me healthy boys, man. You know what I'm saying? We can want as parents all we want. We can be a certain way in life, and then we can want our kids to follow behind us, but it doesn't always work that way. But then you gotta just be thankful that you got some healthy kids, because it's people out here that's dealing with kids with all sorts of illness. They have to constantly get medication for their kid. They constantly have to freaking keep an eye and supervise their kids. There's no telling what's gonna happen to this 13-year-old. He might be able to change once they get him on the right medication. He might be good to go. He might be good to go, man. You know what I'm saying? He might be good to go later, but right now I think the environment he's in, they haven't been able to provide this kid with damn near anything. I'm gonna be honest. The way that house looked, I don't even know if they have health care like that. I think they just basically, I don't even know how the kid got to 13 years old. Seriously, I don't know. You raised a kid for 13 years and you still haven't got him on any medication that works? He's been like that since birth. And you haven't been able to get him dialed in. That's my problem with this whole situation. Yeah, the house look a mess. That tells me, should I question if they have health care or not? Is this kid on any type of medication? You know what I'm saying? How did he get to 13 years of age, man? How? Is he just now getting to a point where you're saying, okay, he's getting stronger and he's getting more violent because he's going through puberty? You know what I'm saying? Him being ADHD or with mental health going through puberty, you know, that's a whole process in itself that can be extremely dangerous. And then the kid got pretty good height on him, you know, so for 13, he got pretty good height on him. But you see how the kid is just laying on the bed, ain't saying nothing, y'all. He would just roll over. You look at the video, he'd just roll over and start, you know, kicking his legs and stuff. This kid is just laying there. Like, to try to understand the mind of a mentally ill ADHD kid. I know I've made light of the Rollies and the Garcias. I mean, look, when you get this point right here and you're going in there and you have to remediate stuff, you're pretty smart. You know what I'm saying? I know some people over here in boxing that has some shit going on, but you can't compare this to what I'm talking about right here with this kid. I think his name is Jermaine. I think his name is Jermaine, I believe. This kid was just laying on the bed at one point with his hands behind his back, not struggling, and then he'll turn around and start kicking and stuff. So you know, at this point, the second officer that's leaning over from the north position where his head is at, he's helping the officer get his hand so he can put cuffs on him just to restrain him, because they didn't want him trying to grab a weapon or anything. You know what I'm saying? So, like, once again, this kid is just sitting there all nice and calm. Shout out to the Brim Reaper, man. Yeah, he stuck the landing. Yeah. But I just wanted to talk about that. I'm not going to spend too much time on him. I hope he gets the help that he's need, man, because, man, that kid don't say anything. And then he just start kicking and frailing, and you know what I'm saying? That's just crazy, bro. Oscar said it best: the money comes with fighting the best, and legacy follows. Yeah, I mean, Oscar, you know, he did what he had to do to get what he needed. One thing I respect Oscar when he fought, for real. People used to talk about how his voice was all soft. Oscar was a dog, man. You know what I'm saying? Oscar was a dog. People just look at how Floyd didn't like him and disrespect him, but man, Oscar was that dude, man. Oscar wasn't no punk. I can tell you this: Oscar wasn't no Ryan Garcia. Come on, man. Oscar was all about the grimy grind time. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Andrew Charles on deck. What it do, man? What it do? But it's been an hour and a half, people. Like I say all the time, I try to find other content and talk about that instead of just talking about drama all the time. But it is what it is, man. You got to go to different shit. Talk about current events is fine. I can if I can talk about relationships and females down here in the A and stuff like that, cool. But after a while, it gets a little tedious. You know what I'm saying? I mean, not tedious. That becomes repetitive. You know what I'm saying? But talking about women, in my opinion, it should never be repetitive. I mean, it should never be redundant to some people because it's interesting. Because times has changed down here in the city, and it's a lot going on. And they shouldn't always have this notion that just because you say you're from the ATL and you're a male, that you some type of homo or gay or whatever the words they want to use, sissy and stuff like that. That ain't the case, man. And nor will I prove to you that is not the case. I don't need to prove shit to nobody. I was born and raised down here. You know what I'm saying? All these other cats that done moved down to the ATL, it is what it is. They not. And they were not born in the A. You know what I'm saying? Things was different when I was coming up. And they different now, goddammit. But hey, man, y'all hold it down. Continue to support. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-Side Official. You already know. Appreciate you. One love. Salute. Peace.